All new this morning, considered one of the country's very first record labels, Capitol Records is known for signing some of the biggest names we know, from Frank Sinatra and the Beatles to Jennifer Lopez, Katy Perry, and Snoop Dogg. One of their newest musical groups is from right here in West Michigan, the worship team at Engedi Church.
You can still do miracles, and you will do miracles.
We just love giving God praise and singing songs to God.
Born into a musical family.
My dad was a musician, so I grew up around music and a family that played music in church my whole life.
And couldn't help but to join in.
I watched Back to the Future and saw the Johnny B. Goode guitar solo and was like, that's what I want to do. I was about 6 or 7 years old when I got my first guitar.
After some vocal lessons, he was ready to go.
I played electric, acoustic, a little bit of keys, and I played trumpet in middle school. Yeah, and then bass.
Yarian Rosado is originally from Orlando, Florida, but moved his family to West Michigan 3 years ago, needing a change.
You can still do miracles, and you will do miracles.
He joined Engedi Church in Holland as their worship leader.
About 3 years ago, we started songwriting, and we just started introducing them in our church. And our church just really fell in love with the songs that we were writing out of this house.
There is something so powerful about the really beautiful truths of our faith that when you put them to melody, all of a sudden they take maybe what was up here in our minds and embed them in our hearts.
It's faith that led to the ownership of this church after running out of space in the building they were leasing.
We look next door, and here is a 110,000 square foot former Kmart building.
They could afford the renovations,
But there is no way we can afford to buy the building and the land that it sits on.
he flew to New York to share his vision with the owner.
And they were really excited about that. And I said, I'm so glad you're this excited about it, because all we need you to do to make that happen is to give the building and land to us for free. And they said, that's not what we had in mind. And 2 weeks later, they said they would do it, and here we are today.
I've tasted and I've seen.
And when a friend of a friend at Capitol Records started to notice their music, again, they took that faith on the road.
We got in a van, drove to Nashville, Tennessee, and we said, hey, we're just a bunch of people who love writing songs, and here's our music, and this is us.
They came back home and the discussion continued.
Honestly, I think we all felt a little underqualified going there because we're just like a bunch of small people from West Michigan.
6 months later, the deal was done, spreading the sounds of gospel beyond Engedi Church.
Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon, everywhere. We're available everywhere.
Hands down, our biggest dream is that more people will just hear about Jesus.
It's just been God just opening up doors and allowing us to walk through that. It was a Kmart building, and now it's a place where people are changed and lives are saved, and it's just really cool to see how God has done that over the years.
You can still do miracles, and you will do miracles. Just one touch of your presence is all we want.
You just heard them singing their single, Still Do Miracles, that's being released tomorrow, and it's part of their new album out next year.